Hi, I'm Casey.
And I'm James.
Welcome to the Yanks Air Museum.
Alright, so we talked a little bit about some of the features of the Scout. Now let's talk a little bit about the history of it. Alright, so we already discussed how the Scout is in fact a advanced trainer, so only one pilot. Jimmy Doolittle actually in his autobiography talks about what a difficult aircraft this was to fly when transitioning from previous basic trainers. So it could be fairly dangerous to fly. The rotary engine certainly made it more complicated. But pilots in World War I were fairly exposed. You could see open cockpit. Not a lot of safety involved. In fact, most pilots didn't even have parachutes. Parachutes were fairly new. They weren't issued because they were too heavy, and oftentimes they were not issued simply because of the fact that many governments didn't want their pilots to have parachutes. They wanted the pilots to try and save the airplane. Don't go save the airplane. Go down with it, and all that. So pretty extreme at the time. Now, also, the cockpit is pretty bare bones, not much to it. Pilots were taught, don't trust your instruments, trust your instincts, and they would literally fly by the seat of their pants. That is actually where we get that term from. Now, although it's made of wood and canvas, it is actually fairly structurally sound, relatively speaking. But of course, if you take this into a combat zone, it's going to get damaged, and that's when the problems start. They actually said you could actually measure the lifespan of a World War I pilot by hours. Hours. That's how extreme this was, the attrition rate in the First World War from 1914 to 1918. Now, being an American aircraft, America, of course, joined the war in 1917. As a result of that, most of the aircraft we used in the First World War were not American-made. They were borrowed from the French and the British. So the fact that this is an American aircraft makes it particularly cool and particularly rare. So it's a very nice historic aircraft. Alright guys, thank you for visiting the Yanks Air Museum.
I'm Casey.
And I'm James.
See you next time.